Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Wednesday, November the 20th, race number 8 at Aqueduct. Let's take a look at the field. We're going 7 furlongs. It is an optional claiming race. Familiar name in here. The number 3 Complexity is 6-5 on the morning line. Winner of the 2018 Grade 1 Champagne Stakes. You can download free formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Access them, handicap along with us. A couple questions I have for you before we dive into the analysis, Mike. How short do you think Complexity will be at post time? Our colleague David Aragona has him pegged at 6-5. And B, is he worth the aggravation considering since that Champagne, he's only run twice. They've both been stinkers. Now you got to deal with a layoff and some physical problems.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with the morning line. I do suspect he's going to take his share of money in here. We'll see how that plays out. I mean, obviously he's a pretty tough horse to take at a short price, and he is 6-5 on the line. I mean, his first 2 starts were very good, but he has not won a race in over a year. He's only managed 1 start as a 3-year-old, and he's been beaten over 20 lengths in his last 2 starts. There are a lot of questions surrounding this horse at 6-5.
Let's throw up the Timeform U.S. pace projector for this race. We know that he's got a lot of speed. Complexity, I think Aristocratic knows one way to go, and that is to go to the front. He's the number 5. Down towards the rail, Fuel the Burn has some speed. He's going to try to hustle out of there to at least maintain his position. I think there's a possibility this race is going to be a little bit hotter than what Timeform U.S. projects.
I'm expecting a fast pace as well. I think it really does work against Fuel the Burn, Dan. I mean, He has shown in his recent form for Danny Gardner that he can handle dirt. His dirt form is actually okay, but he's still a little slow for these horses. And having the rail and his running style where he just wants to be forward, I think it just puts him in a really tough position because I think the 2 horses drawn to his outside are faster than he is early.
We'll begin our horse-by-horse analysis with Fuel the Burn down towards the rail, and you mentioned all the reasons that perhaps he could be in trouble. He's got to break from the rail, maintain position, but that could put him on a chase on a fast pace against some tough horses, and he's been mired at this condition level now for his last 4 races. He's probably going to have to run his career best to top this if some of the top contenders run their A races.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like even if just a few of the other major players in this race show up with their good race, this horse is in trouble. And again, his running style, I feel like it works against him in here. It's not that he hasn't won without the lead in the past, he has, but he wants to be close. And I think this pace is going to be fast.
It is worth noting, however, he has had a lot of success at Aqueduct in the past, maybe a horse for course at a price. The number 2 is Heavy Roller. He would really benefit if this Timeform U.S. pace projector is fast, and he's coming into this race in good form. Let's go back to his most recent start at Belmont on October the 2nd, and he's going to rally from off the pace to win with an 88 Beyer speed figure. You see Heavy Roller, he is the number 3. He's in behind horses, and down on the rail, he's going to finally ease to the 2-path and squeeze his way through. It was kind of a brave victory and a nice ride from Manny Franco. Big step up in class, though. This is a $32,000 claiming race he's winning. He's kind of taking a double step up in class.
Yeah, they're really jumping him up here. The things to like about him are just his running style fits this race really well because he's probably going to get a similar trip to the one he got last time. And he was good in that race. I thought he ran well in there. He handled the cutback. I think 7 furlongs is good for him. With a contested pace in front of him, a lot of things sort of point you to him thinking, you know what, he could outrun his odds in this race. He's 8-1 on the line as he takes the big step up in class.
Complexity won his career debut like a future star. That was at Saratoga during the 2018 summer meeting. Came back to win the Champagne in gate-to-wire fashion over a troubled Code of Honor. We know what Code of Honor came back to do as a 3-year-old. Complexity, 180-degree shift from Code of Honor's fortunes. They ran him back in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He was 5-2. He showed speed. He was bad. Chad Brown said he had shins after that race. It took him a lot longer to get back to the races, and they threw him right into the fire first time back in the Woody Stevens off the long layoff. He chased a fast pace. He backed up. He's had quarter crack issues. He's had foot issues. He's found the right spot, I think, for his return. The question is, can he run anymore?
Yeah, I agree with all that stuff. I mean, he's hard to take at a really short price just based on, the fact that he can't get to the races and that his last 2 starts, are both pretty bad. On the other hand, they've come back at the right kind of level for this horse, finally letting him try his available condition. And he just hasn't met the strongest field in the world. Will the pace work against him? Will the 7 furlongs work against him? I guess those things are both things that you have to be very open to at 6-5 on the line. But I think his good race makes him really tough in here.
I think you make the argument that the best closer in this race when he's right is the number 4 American Power. Now, this horse had a 3-race win streak snapped 2 starts back, but I think you can make excuses for his recent 2 starts. Certainly the Vosburg Invitational, a grade 1-2 starts back. He's not impeding the likes of Imperial Hint and Firenze Fire. And last time he just caught a sloppy track, and I know he's run a 96 Beyer in the slop in the past. I think he's just better on fast going.
Yeah, I mean, I won't argue with that. I think it's something to be concerned about that he ran so poorly last time. But he does have the back races to contend here. He is a legit closer in a race that's supposed to have some pace for him to run at. He goes out for a very, very good trainer, Linda Rice. There are things to like about him, Dan. He's sort of, it's very rare, and it's only occasionally that he'll run a figure that makes him one of the major players in this race, but the pace could make the race in here, and he's going to be running at the end.
The number 5 is Aristocratic. He's a back classer, stakes winner as a 3-year-old, graded stakes placed back at 3. Never really panned out, has sort of turned into a mid-level claimer. Claimed out of this race by Chris Engelhardt, and we'll go back to a race at Aqueduct 17 days ago, where he just went right to the front and he controlled the pace, and he's just too much for these $25,000 claimers. Engelhardt took him for 25. The horse is in sharp form with speed, but another horse taking a double step up in class.
He's taking a huge jump up in class. He's doing it in a race where you would just think Complexity has the speed to really work against this horse in this race. And the other thing with him, Dan, he's a pretty nice horse. He's a real solid claiming type of horse with a lot of speed. 7 furlongs is not his best distance. I don't really feel like he wants to go this far. We showed the replay earlier with Heavy Roller. He was the pace setter in that race too, and he could not get the 7 in that race. I think this distance and the pace really makes it hard for him to take in this race.
Trainer Jason Service has 2 in this race. We'll begin with the number 6, Hawaiian Noises, a 3-year-old stepping back up against Elders again. We'll go back to his most recent start. His first start off a little bit of a layoff, and he was taken out of this race by Service. The winner of this race, Clench, just got right to the front and got loose. Hawaiian Noises was on the chase. As you see, there was not much closing going on. Hawaiian Noises did try hard, and he earned a career best Beyer speed figure. That being said, that career best Beyer speed figure for 82 pales in comparison to those of the top contenders in this race.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I guess on the positive side, he's a very lightly raced 3-year-old. So, you want to hold out hope for improvement with him. Obviously, he has to improve a lot. He has not run a race that is going to make him very competitive in here. Service, does excellent work off the claim game. Maybe he'll improve this horse or not.
Nice segue into our formulator fact. Here is Service over the past 4 years with horses aged 3 and up on dirt, making their first start off a claim after a 2 to 4 month layoff. I think the key is the freshening. Get him part of the program. 8 for 17. Only a small ROI. A lot of these horses are favorites. Hawaiian Noises will not be. He is going to have to improve. And really, he's only run 2 bad races in his career. One against Owendale in the 2-turn Lexington, to his career debut on turf at Kentucky Downs. I think he has some upside. We'll talk a little bit about Mr. Dougie Fresh, and I'm not sure he's really a non-winners of 2 other than tight. Mike, let's go back to his last race. I thought it was a bad loss at 9 to 10. I thought Irad rode him very conservatively early. He's down towards the inside. He probably could have made the front, and basically the horse is on the lead, controlled this race, but he was under the whip a long way out and not making up much ground. Maybe just didn't like being inside. That won't be a problem on Wednesday.
Yeah, I didn't love this performance either, but he was down inside. It's often not the place to be at Parks. We'll see if he can rebound out of it. He's got plenty of races on the go back that would make him at least a contender in here. He's already won this condition back in May at Belmont. That was on a sloppy track, but he won it for fun with a 95 Beyer speed figure. I mean, he's got races that make him a contender in here.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Wednesday race of the day. You think Complexity is simply the best horse in the race. I won't argue with that. You're going with him on top. I'm just going with the completely different attitude that I don't want him at a short price. He can win. I'm trying to beat him. I'm taking a shot with Hawaiian Noises. I like that Irad lands here instead of Mr. Dougie Fresh. I like the numbers with Service off the claim, and I think he has upside and a good tracking pace.
Yeah, listen, I don't want to, make a big case for Complexity in this race. In a lot of ways, I think he's the kind of horse who at 6 to 5, you're probably supposed to try to beat. I just didn't love the alternatives, Dan. I'm going to give him a chance here to come back off this layoff for Chad and use his speed and hopefully take a step forward.
I would like to see him take a step forward. He's a very talented horse that could be a very important 4-year-old next year if he remains healthy. Mike's going 3-2-7-4. I'm going 6-7-2-5. In the Wednesday DRF race of the day, the 8th at Aqueduct has an approximate post of 3:47 Eastern. Good luck.